All right. Welcome, everyone, to my senior capstone proposal and presentation. My name is Zander DeMarco, and I am doing AI-assisted game design for indie developers. So, my name is Zander DeMarco. I'm a fourth year at the University of Hawaii, West Oahu. I graduated from Damien Memorial High School in 2022, and I am in general creative media. So in this proposal, I'll go over my executive summary, my plans for my senior capstone project, my thesis statement, my objective and rationale of the research conducted, and address the significance for my proposed project with my research. My thesis statement. AI tools enhance every stage of game development by supporting creativity, speeding up production, and making it easier for aspiring creators to design their own games. Objective and rationale for the research conducted. Why I chose my topic. Many people believe that creating a video game is complicated and overwhelming process. I wanted to change that thought by showing that artificial intelligence tools can simplify and streamline the development process, and in return making it more accessible and fun for beginner programmers or people that lack certain skills. The objective for my topic is to demonstrate how AI can be used as a supportive tool to make the video game creation process easier and faster. Instead of presenting AI as something that replaces creativity, my project highlights how it can enhance creativity, ultimately encouraging people to try designing games by reducing the intimidation barrier, usually caused by people that don't know how to code or lack that skill set. My research conducted is how AI is currently used in game development, ethical considerations such as bias, transparency, and ownership of the AI generated content, and case studies of indie developers using AI to speed production. My senior capstone plans. I will be creating a YouTube series that documents my entire journey of making a Roblox video game using an AI as assistant. So on the left-hand side, you can see my episodes 1 through 5. So first is concept and planning. Second is world building and asset creation. Third is scripting with AI assistance. Fourth is testing and iteration. And fifth is the final build and reflection. My research shows that the game industry is rapidly beginning to use AI tools in game development. The articles and studies that I reviewed can emphasize how AI can accelerate workflows and assist developers who might be lacking in skills compared to larger companies. By creating a game with the assistance of AI, I am applying the concepts that I have learned in a hands-on way. The significance. Significance number 1. This project can show how AI can make game development easier and more approachable for beginners. It demonstrates that creating a Roblox game is achievable even without advanced coding experience. Future implications, growing AI tools can help more students and newer creators enter the game development process by lowering the learning and intimidation barrier. Significance number 2. This project encourages AI literacy by showing how AI can support brainstorming, debugging, and design planning. Helps others use AI as a helpful tool and not a replacement for creativity. Future implications, schools and programs may adopt AI-supported workflows, making creative technology education more accessible and efficient. And finally, significance number 3. Using AI in development raises issues such as originality, authorship, and ethical use of AI-generated content. This project promotes the responsible use of AI tools by showing where human design or human decision-making and creativity are still crucial. Future implications. As AI becomes a more common way in the creative fields, developers will need guidelines for transparency, credit, and avoiding bias or harmful outputs by the AI. Using these concerns now helps prepare the future creators for ethical AI development. Data. AI is increasingly being used by video game developers using many, with many using it for asset creation and procedural content. At the same time, developers express concerns about ethics and originality. This highlights that while AI can simply simplify the game creation process, it is not a replacement for human creativity. AI offers a way for people to make games more accessible and fun, especially for beginners and small teams. And then on the right side is the graph. Another graph. The global AI and gaming market was valued at approximately 3.3 billion USD in 2024. This is projected to reach approximately 51.3 billion USD by 2033. This shows that AI is a growing trend among companies. And bringing this knowledge into indie development, we can leverage these tools to create games more efficiently and creatively. Target audience. This project is designed for beginners and aspiring indie game developers who are curious about creating games but feel overwhelmed by said barriers. Students and educators can also use this as exploring AI-assisted workflows and teaching tools to introduce AI in game development. And at the bottom are the three target audience: beginner or hobbyist game developers, students learning game design or coding, and educators/mentors teaching game creation. Proposed solution. Using AI as a coding assistant demonstrates that it can simply simplify the game creation process, making it more accessible to those who have little to no programming or art skills. Its intellectual significance lies in showing how AI tools can enhance creativity, reduce barriers, and accelerate learning in the game development process. By providing a fun, hands-on example, this project helps solve the problem of intimidation for beginners. My preparation and process. So in number one, we have my pre, which is week 1 to week 3, which will be the research of AI tools and planning my project, the outline for my YouTube episode structure, and gathering assets and references. Production will be where the main part of my project happens, which is from week 4 to week 10, with building the prototype in Roblox with the AI tools and recording the YouTube series of my journey along the way. And post, number 3, is week 11 till the end, refining the project and releasing it to the public, and my series finale and reflection. My deliverable will be a YouTube series, devlog, and tutorial format. Like stated previously, I will have 5 episodes. Episode 1, concept and planning. Episode 2, world building and asset creation with the help of AI. Episode 3, scripting with the AI assistant. Episode 4, testing and iteration. And episode 5, the final build and reflection. The Roblox game that I'll be making is a Roblox triathlon rhythm race game. So it will be a multiplayer race where players compete in a triathlon, which is swimming, biking, and running, but movement, speed, and power is tied to a rhythm game mechanic by hitting keys on a certain time when cued. Each race can feature varying tracks to keep the experience fresh, and this demonstrates a playable, fun example of how AI-assisted creation, simple mechanics, and social/multiplayer features can produce a full game, showing that game creation doesn't require massive resources or a big team. And I do have some examples of how the game will work. And then my next example. So that is a game called Rhythm Haven or Rhythm Heaven, and it's going to be kind of like that. My next deliverable will be the YouTube series, or the YouTube series will be constructed like many existing game dev or devlog tutorial channels by documenting my development process from concept to finish. And these are some examples of how it will look. So the top video is how I want it to look
When you shop in the
when
Safeway
playing
app,
the
you can count on us to be ready for pickup on
video.
time.
Sorry about
2
that.
years ago, I sat down at my PC, opened up Unity, and created a new project. It wasn't the first time I'd done this. In fact, I've lost track of how many projects I left unfinished over the last years. But like every time, I was convinced that this time I was actually going to finish it. I had the idea for this project for a while already.
And then this is how I will show
Those
my thought
suggestions help. And in the
process
meantime,
visually.
let me show you where we're at. So start off with the idea, obviously, before working on the core mechanics like the player controller. Start to get to work on the story, the concept art, the character animation.
Thank you for listening. Any questions?